Spacey Sims, and we're back with more Color X Malice Unlimited, and we are going down a new route today, but we have to basically, I think, start from the prologue again. Yes, because we don't have a save. So we're going to have to do this, and we're going to have to skip through the red text. Okay, so we're going to skip through everything. Right before our first choice, we have to make a save. So we are actually going to go down Okazaki's route now. I was thinking, like, do I want to do Okazaki's route or Enomoto? We're going to do one of them. And after Okazaki's route, Yoshinari's side story opens up. And then after Enomoto's, that's when Kazuki's side story opens up. And I kind of want to do... I don't know, I just kind of want to save the Kazuki one a little bit. I didn't want to do it quite this soon, because I was like, oh no, I want to save that. I'd rather do Yoshinari's first and save Kazuki's, because then we can see Akito and it'll be precious and beautiful. And then the Adonis stuff doesn't open until after you finish Yanagi and Shiraishi. Probably because Shiraishi was super spoilery route in the game to begin with, and then the Adonis stuff stems off of one of Yanagi's bad endings, so I guess the Adonis stuff and Zero are all together. I don't know, that's probably going to take a while to do, because we get a lot with just our boys and the side routes, but the Adonis thing, I swear to God, is almost like 100 freaking chapters, so unless they're super short, it's like, I mean, I'm sure they're not as long as the chapters for our boyfriendos here, you know what I mean? But it's like, shit, that's a lot. Plus all those side character ones. We need to save. Saving. Okay, we will do new save here. Hopefully I'm going to remember interlude. Yeah, okay, good. At least we have the... Okay, so whoops. We are supposed to say we can't let this go. Oh, whoops, I forgot how to do this. We can't let this go. I don't think we should let this go. Okay. And then we have a choice of what we're going to do, and it'll probably be different because we have to do 2 saves because we get to do trigger mode again. Fuck, I don't know how to do trigger mode on the fucking Switch. That's going to be hard. We're going to fail that. Fuck. Anyway, it's all right. We'll just restart. We want to question people in the area. Because I don't remember if I would have been able to do it anyway, but it's like everything, using this, you don't use the little joysticks to push the down button. So it's just weird. I don't know. The controls just are strange on this. So anyway, question people in the area. When it came to examining crime scenes, Yanagi and Enomoto were far more experienced than I was, and computers were Sasazuka's specialty. I could try to learn on the fly, but it might not yield very good results. Naturally, the way that I can help best is... I'd like you guys to search the scene while I question people in the area. Huh? You mean like knocking on doors and asking questions? Yes. Wow, isn't that a little too old-fashioned? How are you going to track Matsushima that way? Don't underestimate the value of eyewitnesses. You can learn a lot from talking to people. No matter what kind of life a person leads, it's impossible to completely avoid contact with their surroundings. Ha! You have never met me! Plus, he wasn't even a shut-in. He was a regular working stiff. I'm a shut-in, so... Too bad, stupid cat. It's a good application for your meager skills. If we're splitting up to cover more ground, then it's most efficient to do what we're best at. I wouldn't say I'm the best at it, but I do have to speak to the public often. I think that's how I'll be most useful. Everyone seemed to be in agreement, and I laid my hand on my chest in relief. I knew that I was sorely lacking as a police officer, but I had to help however I could. Alright, and we've all got our assignments. Sasazuka, stand by until we send you the PC data. Can I ask you to send the letter for analysis too? Got it. I'll explain the situation to Shiraishi and send him the image files. We can have him examine the actual letter later. Thanks. Enomoto and I will take the apartment. Hoshino will question nearby residents. Do we want Hoshino to work alone? I mean, just for argument's sake, you could say she's a young girl and it's nighttime and... For argument's sake, could say? I'm a young woman, but I'm not a young girl. Although, at my age, if he was like, well, she's like a nice girl. Okay, I'll take it. Her age, no, I'd be like, excuse me, I'm a young woman. And then you get to the point where you're like, excuse me, ma'am. Anyway, I've got a solution for that. Just so happens that we've got the right man for the... You don't have to ask me twice. Don't you worry. I'll be the perfect gentleman to keep her safe. Going on a date with a girl sounds better than being cooped up in a room anyway. Call it killing two birds with one stone. No, get out of here. He's coming with us, so you know he is. Rejected. Super rejected! And it would absolutely not be a date. Wow, don't all gang up on me at once. What's wrong with my idea? Do you really have to ask? In my opinion, you're way more dangerous than any punks you might run into on the street at night. You can say that again. I'd pick Okazaki over you any day. Wait, Okazaki? Okazaki had joined in the conversation as if he'd been there all along, and Enomoto's slow realization sent him into a panic. I mean, I'm actually surprised he didn't okay, I just really miss him climbing in through the fucking window, okay? Can I just... He is a fucking weirdo, but... Were you eavesdropping on us? And that's not a very nice way of putting it. I just walked in. I heard you talking about questioning the neighbors. And I thought, why don't I be Spacey's bodyguard? We'd appreciate that. In fact, I was just about to summon you. So Yanagi does ask Okazaki for help. When I first arrived, Yanagi's team had a bit of an icy relationship with him, but it seems like they're cooperating a bit more nowadays. He walks me home a lot, and I do feel much safer when he's around. He's a weirdo, but, I mean, a third wheel? What a mood killer. I was hoping we'd be alone. Man, I never thought I'd be saying this to you, but... Okazaki, we're counting on you. It's nice to hear that for once. I'll be a perfect bodyguard. You can count on me. He actually is reliable for fucking being crazy and weird. Ugh. I think I'm regretting this already. So do you trust him or not? I mean, like, I don't really remember my impressions of his route. I remember him being a crazy lunatic, and I feel like I thought he was amusing, at least when he's climbing in the window, like, he's a fucking weirdo, right? But I don't really necessarily know. I don't know. I don't think he was like, well, he definitely wasn't my favorite love interest. Okay, let's just be real. That was fucking Shiraishi and Sasazuka. And I gotta be honest, even now it's like, after all the time and everything is settled, it's like, no, I really do think Shiraishi is my favorite. Although I love Sasazuka. It's like, I don't think you can top Shiraishi. I really don't. He's a special place, you know? That crazy motherfucker. But, like, I can't remember my original impressions, but Enomoto was not my favorite right off the bat, but I do think his route was good, and he is kind of charming and adorable, and you do kind of love him. You're like, you're cute. He's like the Impy character, you know what I mean? You're like, you know, you're really not the one I want to date, but your route is good, and you are kind of fucking adorable. A little fucking weird. They were all a little fucking weird. I think all their routes were good, though. I really cannot remember my initial thoughts, but now, being this far away from it, I'm like, I don't remember hating any of them. You know, like, there's certain games you're like, yeah, no, I remember I just didn't like you. Nope, I remember your route, but I did not like you at all. Nope. Like, some of that just never goes away. I don't remember disliking any of them to the point where I'm like, oh, again. I feel like I don't really have... I remember some of the stuff that happened in Okazaki's route, like, vaguely, but I don't remember enough of an impression to be like, yeah, I really liked him, or I hated him. Just like, I think you were fine, but I didn't really, like, have a connection to the point where it's memorable, you know what I mean? But I don't think I hated him. Definitely don't think I hated him. But I definitely didn't love him. He was a weirdo, and he might have been entertaining. I don't know. It's going to be kind of new, I guess, so. With the exception of Sasazuka, we all headed over to Matsushima's apartment. While Yanagi and Enomoto investigated the apartment, I walked the neighborhood with Okazaki and explained the general situation to him. Oh, we have to, hold on. Keep this, because we're going to have to make a second save file. Well, and that might be trigger mode fail, and I might accidentally fail and get a bad ending right off the bat, so. I see. So a suspicious character's gone missing, and they might be related to Adonis. I've got the gist of it, but if this case is Adonis-related, shouldn't you let HQ know? Their coloring is way too similar. With like the frosty purple eyes and the almost whitish hair. Just saying. I'd love to let them know, but none of this is particularly credible at this point. Hey, should you really be saying that in front of your client? You're a lot meaner than you look. Sorry, what I meant is that the police probably won't do anything with information that vague. I chose to keep things fuzzy so I wouldn't reveal myself as a police officer. Okazaki whispered something into my ear. But this was enough for Unagi's team to move on? Well, yes. Aware of Tachibana's attention, I was startled by his whisper. I can't exactly tell you why, but we need enough evidence to convince any observer. Okazaki knew that I was a police officer and that I was investigating the X-Day cases. X-Day cases. Was it supposed to say X-Day cases twice? I don't think so. Anyway, but I had to avoid directly telling him about the collar and anything related to it. After a moment of silence, Okazaki sighed in agreement. It's gonna be really fucking weird in the summer when you're wearing a fucking turtleneck, because you got a collar on, you know what I'm saying? It's winter, so I can just wear lots of scarves. Haha, hickey, scarf. Yeah, you're right. Missing persons cases are low priority right now, so they'd need concrete evidence to do anything. We're being cautious because we don't know all the facts, but that actually works out to our favor in this case. And the need for concrete evidence wasn't just a special circumstance for this case. Concrete evidence! When an officer wants to confirm the veracity of a claim, they gather bits of corroboration information. Wow. Without concrete evidence, all stories are typically classified by the police as unsupported allegations. SRCPO was swamped with reports on a daily basis. Among those, a good portion were of low urgency, and there would be a few others that were hoaxes. Of course, the police didn't have nearly enough resources to respond to every call. We had to do our best to verify the credibility of reports and organize them by category. That was one of SRCPO's most important duties. There are moments where, because the typos are awkward or whatever, you pause and you're like, I feel in a way for such a high quality game that I'm literally playing the terrible translation that was Ayakashi Koigi Kyoku. Okay, I really do. I feel like I'm like, wait, what? Kind of English is like, and I have to feel like I have to decipher it. I don't think my brain can handle this. Don't get me wrong. I loved the original game, but the amount of typos in this one is sad. It's kind of fucking sad. I know what I said before. I really just want them to keep localizing games, so if I gotta deal with it, I gotta deal with it, but it doesn't mean it's not painful. Anyway. Have you seen the man in this photo? It's not nearly as bad as Ayakashi. Not nearly fucking as bad, but there are those moments where I'm like, wait, what? Like, takes you out of it. He should live nearby. He's never been to our shop. Sorry, we couldn't be of more help, Officer Hoshino. Even the fact that you don't recognize him is still valuable information. I apologize for taking up your time. Thank you for your cooperation. Of course, keep up the good work. My father wants to see you, so please stop by the shop next time you're nearby. I certainly will, but I'm afraid I won't be drinking. I lowered the phone I borrowed from Tachibana and sighed as I watched the woman leave. Still nothing. I turned around to see Okazaki watching me with a somewhat surprised expression. I think that's his normal expression. Okazaki? Tachibana? Did you discover anything? Nope, it was just a bit of a surprise. I thought your job was just to serve tea at the office, but you seem pretty experienced at this. Just because I have a vagina doesn't mean I'm only good for serving tea, you dickhole. What an ass. You don't really seem like a private eye, though. You seem more like a police detective on TV. Private investigators have to question witnesses, too. I'm pretty used to it. Yeah, you were polite and careful not to put the listener on their guard. I'm impressed. Well, aren't you careful? Okay, I'm just gonna make sure. Okay, well, we're not there yet, but I'm gonna make sure we save in the right spot. Plus, you know everyone. Are you the neighborhood idol or something? They're just people I happen to know. I patrolled this neighborhood, so I was acquainted with many of the seniors, but I couldn't say that. Tachibana was watching me with interest. I took out my own phone. Obviously, he knows everything, but I'm gonna give Yanagi my report. We don't have anything else to report, though. I'd spoken to neighbors, workers, and passers-by. I'd hoped that I'd get at least one hit from that. Many people, but not a single person, had ever seen Matsushima before. Oh, wait, what? Whoops, hold on. Oh. Wait, is Okazaki saying this, or he's just saying, I don't know. See, that's the problem. They fuck up where it goes in the text, so you don't really know. Anyway, I'd spoken to neighbors, workers, and passers-by. I'd hoped that I'd get at least one hit from that many people, but not a single person had ever seen Matsushima before. That makes more sense. Okay. Swing and a miss, huh? Like, because sometimes the line goes over, but sometimes your inner monologue is in the line with the text, like the spoken word. And it's so fucking weird. Like, they really did some... Their editing is complete and utter trash, is all I'm saying. So, it needs to be better. They could do better. It's still readable. It's just... It takes you out and you're like, the fuck is happening? And not necessarily. And nobody can live in a neighborhood and avoid ever being seen by anyone else. That's not true. I'm really good at this. Guarantee you, if I drop dead, people would be like, who? Nobody knows where I live. Nobody knows who I am. Okay, like the office people know me, so that's about it. And the UPS guy might know if I was dead, because I'd stop ordering packages and he'd be like, wait, what the hell? And the mail guy. That's it. None of my neighbors would. I don't know what any of my neighbors fucking look like either. And this gives us some evidence regarding Matsushima's lifestyle. Yes, we can make inferences about his difficult work life and his daily commute. A detective sure or something. I was starting to wonder if asking questions was going to help at all. It helps with the process of elimination, at least. Right. By eliminating possibilities, we can focus our attention on more likely leads. Of course, this is all just conjecture. We're still waiting for Yonagi's results. Conjecture is really hard to say. It's a fucking weird word. Anyway, sure, but your questions also show me that you're more than just a pretty face. And sent. I sent my message to Yanagi and turned back to Tachibana. I kind of wonder what the Ace of Wand on his jacket is supposed to mean, if anything. Okay, it's like actually a vest, but like a Marty McFly motherfucking vest over here. I'd like to question the locals a little longer. Do you have any other leads or information? Leads? Like grocery stores or bars that he frequented. His usual area of operation. Nah, work was that guy's entire life. I don't particularly... Tachibana smacked his fist into his palm as he made a sudden realization he's gonna lead us into the fucking middle of nowhere. Oh, right! There's a park nearby that he was always talking about. This is bad. We're gonna die in this park. People die in this park. There was somebody on fire in this park. Looks like nobody's here. This is also where Okazaki fell asleep on us. Well, we know that there was a chance we wouldn't run into anyone. See, I remember some shit. At Tachibana's suggestion, we had come to the park, which was completely empty at this time of night. There was nothing noteworthy about it. Since Shinjuku had been quarantined, I doubted many people would venture into a park at night. After we walked through the park and found nothing, Tachibana sighed and looked up at a street lamp. Man, it's pretty weird that we'd come up with nothing after spending so much time looking. Doesn't that kind of mean Matsushima might really be part of Adonis? Maybe there was a side of him that I never knew. We don't know that for sure yet. There might be other leads we can... Nah, I mean, it's super sketchy, right? Thinking back, that guy was shady as hell. Weapons, dead bodies, drugs. He was always looking at freaky websites like that, like some psycho. I think he's just pulling from his own life. He was shady. He used to, like, pull the legs off bugs. Wow, he's really fucked up. Hey! I mean, yeah. But don't bother trying to make me feel better. He might be my friend, but even friends can cross a line. If he's a criminal, I hope the guy just gets caught soon. It wouldn't be wrong to say that our work tonight was a disappointment, but I was shocked by Tachibana's sudden indifferent tone. He had supposedly come to our agency out of a deep concern for his missing friend, but now he was acting as if he was bored and tired of the chase. It was perplexing. Whoa, wait a minute. Matsumoto, Mizushima, whatever. Enough about that guy. I'm more interested in you. Among all the people I'd gotten to know recently, Tachibana now reminded me of Shiraishi most. Hey! Don't insult my boyfriend like that. He was smiling, but his expression was cold. Even Okazaki frowned. Weren't you guys friends? Huh? Sure, I guess. I don't know if he felt the same way. So, assuming that Matsushima was a bad guy, why did he only reveal himself to you? Normally criminals act in ways that even people close to them occasionally find suspicious, and you were free to come and go from his home. Who knows? I couldn't tell you what the guy was thinking. You're the only one who can answer this question. After all, right now, you're the only person who knows Shota Matsushima exists. Okazaki now leveled a piercing glare at him, but Tachibana simply shrugged it off. Come on, it wasn't just me. He knew the landlord, too. I wouldn't say that meeting only once in person counts as knowing someone. We asked the landlord, remember? He probably knew Matsushima and couldn't remember what he looked like. Don't sweat the details, man. Memories can be vague. You could change your hairstyle and clothing, call yourself Shota Matsushima, and nobody would remember the difference. Yeah, you put on a wig or you have somebody else do it? Tachibana let out an exaggerated sigh. Then he turned to me and grinned. I wonder if the Adonis kind of... Well, it does spin off, but I wonder if he's going to be in that. You know what I mean? Like, because we ran into him and then we totally joined Adonis, you know, after that bad ending, and then he's there. Because it would make sense, because otherwise it's like, he's here for this, to kind of lead us into getting these, you know, a little bit how we bonded with our boyfriendos, and then we get our ending. Like, then we get into the after. Because you don't, in a way, you don't really need this. At all. Like, this whole new prologue-y thing. If you just, oh, I'm going to pick up Sasazuka's, and then it takes place right after we solve the X-Day cases and onward. This is just an interesting way, like, to kind of, game mechanic-wise, to kind of play a little and before you get into a route. As opposed to just, let me pick the route that I want to continue. You know what I mean? Which is where every other game does it. You just pick your guy and then you continue. You know, you don't have to, like, get the right answers to do it. So I'm really wondering if this whole prologue thing kind of ties more into the Adonis ending. Where, like, okay, now he's there. Because otherwise, like, they made this whole character and they did all this for... I mean, don't get me wrong, it's interesting and fun, and I kind of like that it's a little different. But you didn't have to do that? I mean, I guess they kind of went above and beyond in this one for a fan disc, you know what I mean? So, not complaining. I'm just curious. Because, like, you know? Anyway. Tachibana let out an exaggerated sigh, then he turned to me and grinned. Okay. By the way, we've been walking around a lot. There's no one else to talk to. And the other two are searching the apartment, so that leaves us with nothing else to do, right? That's not true. We need to regroup and share... And this guy can clearly take care of himself. He's a cop or whatever, so he can go wherever he wants. Why don't you join me for a drink? So you know what's really funny? He's like, why you? Like, why does Zero want the collar on you? But yet he's fucking intrigued with it. We are magic! Because, like, even Minagishi was like, why her? Like, I just don't I kind of want her too. Wait a minute. Like, everybody wants a piece of me. I think we need to bottle whatever the hell it is that we're exuding, is all I'm saying. I'm not complaining, but everybody's intrigued with us. Tachibana reached for my hand. And that's right. And as a cop, I'd like you to come with us. Okazaki caught Tachibana's arm and didn't let go. He fixed him with a still gaze. Asking questions is my forte, so it helps to have a witness along, especially since there are so many inconsistencies in your account. Come on, you can do that yourself. That sounds like a real pain. You're the one who came to us. Aren't you worried about your friend? Friend? A friend, huh? Did I say that's what we were? Do you mean that you're not friends anymore because he's a criminal? Oh, sure, why not? The biggest reason is that we're out of time, though. Out of time? With a gloomy expression, Tachibana shook free of Okazaki's hand. Then... my phone buzzed. It's from Yanagi. Why don't you take it? Hello, this is Hoshino. Hoshino, is Tachibana there? If he is, ask him whether Matsushima really lived here. What do you mean? We searched the apartment from top to bottom. At first glance, it looks like someone lived here, but on closer examination, that seems unlikely. It's clearly been staged to look that way, but everything about this feels suspect. Listen to me. Don't take your eyes off Tachibana. Where are you now? We're at a nearby... And that's enough of that. Tachibana moved so quickly I couldn't see it coming and knocked the phone from my hand. You! I have to pay for that! I just bought it! I glared at Tachibana, who had taken a step back. Okazaki interposed himself between us. Like I said, at a time, I was hoping to make this a little harder. You're not even trying to hide that your request was a lie. So your friend Matsushima never existed? That's far too serious to be playing pranks about. What are you trying to achieve? Would you believe me if I said that I was interested in you? Huh? That part wasn't a lie, just misleading. I really wanted to know what kind of a person you are. I was told that you're a special individual who required observation. Made me wonder what kind of super cop you were. He knows that I'm police. And even worse. Observation? Special figure. Okazaki's brows knitted. Indeed, Tachibana had just been hinting at my collar. It's weird, though. I've been watching you, and you just seem like an ordinary girl to me. Chisato Tachibana stared at me and practically started giving me a soliloquy. The look he was giving me was starting to send shivers up my spine. Hey, would you tell me something? Why is a boring, normal person like you worthy of such attention? What actually makes you special? Are you really someone who's capable of stirring his heart? What the hell are you talking about? Are you Adonis? If you are, I really don't understand. Your actions have been far too sloppy. You crafted a false identity and set up a fake residence, and then approached Yanagi's team with a fake job. Did your plan have to be this roundabout? If she was your objective, you could have targeted her when she was alone. You could have made things much easier for yourself. You really are anal about the small stuff. This wasn't about killing her and then running off. Yeah, I could have put on a better act, or I could have just staked you out from afar. Sure, there's lots of ways. But that wouldn't teach me anything about her essence. The best way to do that is to stimulate them. Suspicion, fear, discomfort, anxiety. You don't know what someone's really like until they're in a tough spot, subjected to dark emotions, and then we just curl up in a ball, cry, and just... in hysterics. Yeah, that's how we handle things. So I'm about to break it. Please, make it stop. Yeah, no. He'd be like, I was not expecting that. We'd get the upper hand. I'm just saying, because he wouldn't be expecting that. What are you getting at? I need to have a good time. But you people are too damn stubborn to let me. Enough dancing around. Just answer the question. What are you after? See, you just proved my point. You always want an obvious reason for things. People like you always think in terms of motive. You can't deal with actions that seem meaningless. That's why you let your guard down. It felt like he was looking right into my mind. I felt a slight quiver of fear. I won't be intimidated. Tachibana stepped forward and flashed another grin at me. Okazaki's back was to me. I felt a shiver of anxiety. Oh, don't be so scared. I was only given orders to watch you. I don't plan on killing you. But Okazaki... but... You, SP, you're outside of those orders. You're not part of this, so nobody cares if I kill you. Okazaki! Tachibana drew a knife from his pocket and dropped into a fighting stance. You've been paining my ass this whole time. Even though my plan is meant to come out in the end, it's still annoying to have you screw it up. I think my plan was meant to come out in the end. Light glinted off his blade. He intended to kill Okazaki. I moved to draw my pistol, but Okazaki gestured at me to stop. Spacey, stay behind me. Okay? Never faced an SP before. Looking forward to seeing how this goes. Time for a little test. Let's see how you handle... It happened in an instant. Huh? In the time it took Tachibana to blink, Okazaki had closed the distance. How long are you going to talk? Gah! Before Tachibana could finish his speech, Okazaki had knocked the knife from his hand. His eyes further widened in surprise as Okazaki planted an elbow directly into his solar plexus. I was thinking it was his shoulder, and then I realized it wasn't, and I started saying shoulder plexus. You're under arrest for interference in police duties. We'll hear your story back at the station. Hold on, okay. Okazaki's weird as fuck, but you gotta give him credit, like, he's just like, I'm a little strange, and then he just, like, fucking takes the guy out in a blink of an eye. It's like a fucking ninja. Tachibana was on his knees, coughing violently. Okazaki slowly approached. Did he know, like, I thought... I don't remember if he knew any kind of, like, martial arts or anything. As if... Okazaki! Tachibana pulled a handgun from his pocket, the dark metal glinting in the dim light. I'm not gonna lie, when he stands like that's like so noble, you're like, oh, so impressive, just his pose. I don't know. Okazaki drew his sidearm at almost the same instant. However, Tachibana wasn't pointing his gun at either Okazaki or me. Don't move! The muzzle rested against his temple. Oh, I see what's gonna happen here. Are you planning to kill yourself? Don't move. I'll pull the trigger if you do. Oh, this is pretty lame as threats go. Huh. So you're holding yourself hostage since you know you have no hope of beating me. Clever. I hadn't expected it either, but it was an effective threat. No matter what information he had, if he killed himself, we would never get it. And as a police officer, I'd never let someone die from suicide under my watch. What the hell? You damn lowly SP. Lowly? You stand like you know how to use that knife, but even one of our junior officers could beat you. Given my position, I couldn't let Tachibana kill himself. Okazaki appeared to be provoking him, but there seemed to be a firmness to his tone. From behind, I whispered my intentions to Okazaki. This is it. If we fuck up and fail in trigger mode, we're gonna get a bad ending. Okazaki, I'll shoot him in the hand. You will? With you standing in the way, he can't see what I'm planning. My hand drifted towards my concealed holster, and I slowly gripped the gun so Tachibana didn't hear. I didn't have the luxury of taking careful aim, and I'd also never practiced shooting from awkward positions. Well, we're supposed to save when Okazaki says, well, aren't you careless? As soon as you move, though, he might notice me. I'll take the shot from here and catch him by surprise. It's gonna be a difficult shot. You'll be in danger if he decides to target you. From behind, I couldn't see what Okazaki was doing, but he was probably talking without moving his lips. The thing that sucks is, at least in the original, you had the training. I don't think we have the training here, so I'm gonna fuck this up and we're gonna get a bad ending. Look, just back off. I don't think either one of you wants to see me off myself in front of you. We might get a bad ending right away. That's true. But I'd say that I'd basically feel the same way if we just let you walk. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Okazaki traded verbal barbs with Tachibana, then murmured so that only I could hear. My priority is to protect you. That's what Yanagi asked me to do. But in this situation, I can't simply sit back and allow myself to be protected. Please let me do this. I'm a police officer too. If you miss, I'll take the shot. All right. I gave him a small nod, and Okazaki returned to taunting Tachibana without missing a beat. Allow me to spell things out for you. You're the one at a severe disadvantage here. The others have seen through your charade and they're on their way here, so time's not on your side. Not yet. You're not scaring me. I know how long it'll take these guys to get here. Or those guys. Just a little more. Well, aren't you careless? Okay, hold on. We gotta save here. I'm gonna fuck this up. I don't know if, unless they teach you how to do it again. Especially because you had to aim with the thing, but I don't remember, and it's a different system. Are you birds throwing shit around? You know what I mean? It's a different fucking system, so I'm not sure how to do it on the Switch. What? I thought you were a trained fighter. You should have paid more attention to your back. Now! Oh god, Tachibana didn't turn around, but the ruse was enough to distract him. I'm so fucking nervous. I took the opening and fired. Oh god, how am I gonna do this? Oh wait, do we just have to hit the A button? Unfortunately, the awkward shooting position, I missed. Threw off my aim and the bullet only grazed Tachibana's arm. Okay, I think we got a bad ending, but that's okay. Damn it! That's alright. Shh. With an annoyed noise, Tachibana swung the pistol back towards Okazaki, and 2 gunshots rang out. It's okay, in unison. One of the bullets grazed Okazaki's face. Good. We did it. Unless that's the right thing that was supposed to happen. I don't know. I forgot how it works. You don't have to actually do anything. You just click the button when it hits the right area, but I can't remember. Is it the outer circle? Or I think it was, but I don't think I did it. I don't think I got it, but I don't know what's happening here. So Okazaki had shot Tachibana's pistol out of his hand. Okazaki, you're bleeding. I'm fine, but I need you to back up. Okazaki immediately leapt off the ground and struck Tachibana with a flying kick. Then he slammed Tachibana to the ground and applied a joint lock. There wasn't even time for me to help. I mean, this seems like maybe we're okay. I don't know. I can only grit my teeth in disappointment at myself for putting Okazaki at risk. Maybe we were supposed to technically... Well, because you know what I mean in one of them? When you quote-unquote get it right, you hit there in like one of the endings where we were in the club. I don't remember whose ending it was. Right? And we're shooting, and if you get it right, it doesn't kill them, but if you get it wrong, it totally like, oh my god, I killed them! So maybe if we, our bad ending would be to, I don't know. And that's how a small incident on December 10th ended in the midst of the X-Day events. We captured Chisato Tachibana and handed him over to police custody. Apparently, he completely refused to talk. A formal investigation was initiated. However, after one of his interviews, Tachibana disappeared, apparently aided by an unknown party. Shiraishi. This naturally sparked suspicions of a mole and the opening of an internal investigation. However, with each successive X-Day incident, personnel had to be diverted to other cases, and those investigations ground to a halt. The Tachibana incident remained hazy, and we returned to investigating our original cases. Soon we were buried under a mountain of work, and nobody had time to remember Chisato Tachibana. Who was he? What was he actually after? No one would ever know, until we get to the Adonis route, maybe. The end. Oh, nope, I guess that was a bad ending. There you go. All right, so I did miss, so we're going to try it again. All right, so we technically got our first bad ending by accident. I told you that was going to happen, though, because I was worried about that. Because I'm actually completely, I couldn't remember how to do it, and they didn't give you, okay. All right, hold on. What? Okay, we got it right that time. I got him! All right, cool. There you go. Thanks, Spacey. I'll leave the rest to me. The gun flew from Tachibana's grasp, and Okazaki didn't miss the chance to leap forward. Tachibana reacted with a fighting stance now that Okazaki was within spitting distance. Don't get ahead of yourself! He threw out a knife hand strike, intending to gouge at Okazaki's eyes. But it was a distraction. Tachibana followed the strike with an upward knee at Okazaki's jaw. Okazaki had to dart out of the way of the merciless blows. Going straight for my vitals. That's cold. Ha! Now you're the one going through a lot of roundabout trouble, considering that you could easily just shoot me. Two men clashed several times in a melee, and I took the opportunity to secure Tachibana's gun. I tried to cover Okazaki with my sidearm, but the fighting made it too hard to get a clear shot. As I watched the fighting intensely, Tachibana turned his attention to me. Huh. For an instant, not even a second, Okazaki followed Tachibana's gaze and turned toward me. No! Okazaki! It had only been an instant, but it was enough time for Tachibana to throw sand in Okazaki's face and follow it up with a knee to his side. Gah! Okazaki! I started towards Okazaki, but then immediately stopped in my tracks, realizing that I'd just be a hindrance to him. Ha! You aren't all that. In the end, you're just another human living in the light. Is a frontal charge the only way you know how to fight, you soft-hearted government dog? How rude. I don't have the luxury of failure. Someone like you who's only lived an ordinary, easygoing life can never beat me. That's right. I have to be better than anyone else. You might have the edge in skill, but someone who doesn't know how to kill can never defeat me. Seemingly drunk on his own words, Tachibana hurled strikes at Okazaki again and again. But Okazaki skillfully took the blows and shifted slightly. You're right. There is a difference in our skills. He firmly planted himself in a stance, caught Tachibana's arm, and flipped him over his back. Gah! It was a beautiful textbook one-arm shoulder throw that slammed Tachibana into the ground. He's like a fucking ninja. At the same time, I heard familiar voices approaching from a distance. Hey, are you two okay? Inamoto, Yanagi. Whew. After that, Tachibana passed out. By the time we handed him over to the police and gave our reports, it was late into the night. Everything was quiet for now, and Okazaki walked me back home. Okazaki, thank you for taking me home again. No need for that. It's my job. I figured you could use the company after that escapade tonight. Sorry for getting you caught up in that mess. You were in danger. Why are you apologizing? I'm happy to have you count on me. And besides, you made it out safely, so don't look so down about it, okay? Thanks. I returned his gentle smile with a strained grin. For some reason, Okazaki didn't seem displeased at all to have been thrown into danger. On the contrary, he looked genuinely happy about it. It was bewildering. He's a strange one. That said, you seem to have done something to attract Adonis's attention. Yes. But Tachibana's actions tonight don't align with the way Adonis normally operates. In fact, we didn't really know if Chisato Tachibana was part of Adonis. He had claimed to be observing me, but Adonis could already do that via the collar. His actions seemed pointless. Perhaps the assumption that his actions would make sense caused us to let down our guard this time. On top of that, the collar's silence during this entire incident struck me as unnatural. Tachibana really is part of Adonis. Does that mean he's not cooperating with the person that's behind the collar? That would mean Adonis isn't a unified organization. I don't know if he's with Adonis, but he was undoubtedly a highly trained opponent. You could tell after fighting him once? Felt like you had the upper hand. Overall, yes, but he had very specialized training, so it was hard for me to predict his moves. People like that will win by any means necessary. It's a selfish mindset that's completely at odds with the SP goal of self-sacrifice. If Okazaki is that complimentary of him, he must have been a truly skilled fighter. I suddenly felt unsteady on my feet, struck by how ignorant I was. Okazaki patted me on the head as if to steady me. It'll be alright. If anything happens, I'll protect you. Thank you. The warmth of his offer made me smile. But what you did earlier scared me half to death. Please be more careful. It's because you tried to capture him without hurting him that you ended up like this. Huh? When I reached out to the slightly dirtied area of Okazaki's shirt, he pulled away and made a strange noise. I looked up in surprise to see him scratching his cheek awkwardly. You startled me. I yelped because I thought you were sexually harassing me. You're lying, aren't you? Are you injured? You saw right through me, huh? Did Tachibana hurt you during that brawl? Yeah, but it's nothing big. And probably just a cracked rib or two. That's a big deal. I'll be okay. Our ribs don't need a cast, and I can just visit the hospital later if it becomes an actual problem. Not later. Go right now. I mean, all they do is give me first aid. It's not like my life is in danger. Even if it isn't an emergency, you must still be in a lot of pain. To think he'd been pretending he was perfectly fine the entire time since we caught Tachibana. I didn't want to show it. It's not a good look, you know. It's not about how you look. I know that you were fighting while trying to make sure you protected me and that you were also trying to take Tachibana in unharmed. No, I just made a mistake. I underestimated my opponent. I've gotten rusty since I left. I can't let this happen anymore. Okazaki? The way he murmured to himself seemed colder than usual. Concerned, I looked up at him. Okazaki, I know you take your work seriously, but right now, I don't care about your mistakes. Huh? You were hurt while protecting me. That's why I can't just let this slide. Please go to the hospital. Now. With a wry chuckle, he raised his hands in resignation. All right. I'll go get some medical attention. Promise me? You don't trust me? And then why don't you give me first aid yourself? Huh? I think I'd heal much faster with your tender, loving care. There was an awkward silence. Okazaki noticed me staring at my feet and he laughed again. Just kidding. I'll go to the hospital, right? You're right. Even if you went to the emergency room, they'd only make you wait for first aid. Huh? Okay, you're coming over to my place. The living room was empty and quiet, so Kazuki was probably asleep already. I invited Okazaki inside. Tried to remember my first aid training from my police academy days and struggled to get the bandages in place. Use a towel, wrap it firmly over the affected area, and fix it in place. Oh, we get a CG. How's that, Okazaki? Is it too tight? Yeah, I think it's good. More importantly, why do you keep looking away? I'm not looking away. But you're clearly flustered. I'm not looking away. This is medical treatment, nothing more. If you're insinuating I invited you in under false pretenses, I'd appreciate it if you'd abandon those notions. Now you're even talking weird. Because we're looking at you half naked. Yeah. I knew that giving him first aid here might end up leading to this. Okazaki's back was right in front of me, and a part of me wanted to pounce on it. Girl, what? He appeared slim in build, but in fact, he had very tight, muscled physique. That just... Uh-huh. We didn't get that much on top of Sasazuka, like right off the bat in this prologue. Holy shit, girl, what? That came out of nowhere. His wiry body gave him a masculine aura, which belied his baby face. No, no, no! Get your mind out of the gutter! You perv. Even I get embarrassed when you're staring at me that hard. I'm not staring! I'm not even looking! My eyes are basically closed! Wait. Does that mean you're giving me lower grade medical care? Ugh, fine, I was looking. Oh, and then should I take my pants off too? Why would you do that? I shrieked in exasperation, which only led to Okazaki teasing me for a few more minutes. Besides the rib injuries, you have a lot of small cuts and bruises too. My job, there's never time to fully heal. People get hurt in training all the time. But it's my job to protect people. Scars that I get while protecting someone are badges of honor to me. Okazaki laughed merrily, and I felt that I couldn't either agree or disagree with his mindset. It was easy for me to say that I didn't want him to be reckless, but his work as an SP didn't really allow him to shy away from danger. If you keep pursuing Adonis, you might be in danger too. And that's why you can always feel free to call me. I swear to you that I'll protect you. Can't believe that she was like, I'm ready to pounce him, like, in the prologue. And that's how a small incident on December 10th ended in the midst of the X-Day events. We captured Chisato Tachibana and handed him over to police custody. Apparently, he completely refused to talk. Formal investigation was initiated. However, after one of his interviews, Tachibana disappeared, apparently aided by an unknown party. This naturally sparked suspicions of a mole and the opening of an internal investigation. However, with each successive X-Day incident, personnel had to be diverted to other cases, and those investigations ground to a halt. The Tachibana incident remained hazy, and we returned to investigating our original cases. Soon, we were buried under a mountain of work, and nobody had time to remember Chisato Tachibana. Who was he? What was he actually after? No one would ever know. Like, they kind of didn't leave that... I'm like, we better have not just got... Because, like, there's no other bad ending. Yet there is, but we didn't choose those options in the very beginning. So, here we go. Yay! Epilogue now can be played. Okay, good. So we're going to play it, but, since we know... wait, let me read this story. April 20XX, the protagonist helped end the threat of the X-Day incidents in Shinjuku. There are still lingering issues, and not all the wounds have healed, but the days she spends with her lover bring her peace and calm. Happy days like these will continue on. Okay, so I am going to mute myself, and I'm going to blast the sound so you can hear, and hopefully it was okay in Sasazuka's one, so that you can hear, because we know what's going to happen now. We know that little intro, and I'm not going to read it. You're going to have to read it. So if you're watching in the background and just listening, pay the fuck attention because you have to read it. I can't read it for you. It goes too fast. And then there's Yukikaji voice acting going on in the background. So I'm going to play that. And I'm going to crank the sound up and do all that. So be prepared. And here we go. Are you sure? Yes. All right.
ぱり君は悪い人じゃないね。君はアドニスの一員、X デーに関わる犯人、脅されているだけの警察官。俺は何があっても君を守るよ。だから君も何があっても逃げないで。大丈夫だよ。もう傷一つつけさせないから。可愛いって思うのも、こういう顔見せるのは俺だけにしてほしいって思うのも、手をつなぎたいって思うのも君だけ。冗談じゃなくて全部本当の気持ち。なんで嘘つくの？やっぱり君は何にも分かってない。俺がどれだけ君のこと大切でなくせないか分かってくれてない。絶対許さないから。俺は君が死ぬなんて許さない。俺が安心できる日が来るまでずーっと俺から離れないでね。もちろん死ぬまでだよ。おじいちゃんおばあちゃんになるまで。
All right. Hope you enjoyed that. 4:10, 9:07 p.m. Yeah. Yukikaji really is fucking good, isn't he? Like, he's one of my favorites. Oh. But he's really fucking good. It's fun. I enjoy doing that too, because it's like, I forget, like, everybody's voices, and since we don't play with the voice acting on, you miss so much when I do it this way. Because, like, everybody else, I play the game by myself, and you just click through and you hear the voice acting, and it's like, hi. But it's really hard to do that this way. Because then you've got to, like, read the line after, and then read the line, and then it's just, it's really weird. I don't know. Anyway. Several months had passed since the resolution of the X-Day incidents. In that time, the situation that we'd been dragged into had changed dramatically. After the destruction of Adonis, the government confiscated the weapons it had issued to the public and lifted the quarantine on Shinjuku. Adonis, after Incident B. The terrorist organization behind the X-Day incidents, they executed highly disruptive acts of domestic terrorism. A raid at the end of the year overran their hideout and led to the death of the suspected mastermind Ray Mikuni. The government has proclaimed them defeated to the public, but many members still remain at large. I forgot that oh my god, I forgot. Did they actually kill him? I can't quite remember how that went down, like, to be dead honest, but Yanagi's team went their separate ways. Some of us resumed our police duties, while Yanagi himself began actually working as a private investigator, rather than only being one in name. As for me, I returned to the Special Region's Crime Prevention Office, that is, SRCPO, and was keeping busy. Although the quarantine had ended, it would take some time for normal life to return to Shinjuku. Police leadership had deemed it necessary for SRCPO to continue our work with local communities. Finally, Okazaki returned to his original duties with the security police, and was assigned back to headquarters. As to what he was doing... Oh, hi! Wow, what the fuck? What the fuck? Okay. We just get some steamy shit right off the bat. With her taking his shirt off and being like, I wanted to pounce him. Girl, what? And then this right off the bat? Kissy CG. I'm already disappointed for Shiraishi, let me tell you, because I already know that, like, from what I've read, his route's a slight disappointment. Like, there's not a lot of steamy fan service-y stuff. It's like, why do you hate him so much? He's the best. Anyway, I'm not panting for him. I'm not moaning either. But like, Jesus Christ. I was pressed against the glass of a window, its touch soothingly cool, though it also served as a reminder that I had nowhere to run. It had been several dozen seconds since he opened the door. Okazaki's lips hungrily overlapped mine, taking in every bit of me he could taste. Can't breathe. My words caught in my throat, but the lustful kiss stole away any thoughts I had of talking out loud, and it was taking all my effort to stay upright. I mean, I'm just saying. I feel like they did Sasazuka a slight disservice if they're gonna open Okazaki's route like this, like, girl. Hello? Lately, all of our meetings had been this way, since we rarely had the chance to see each other. Just wait a second. It's been a while, so we should slow down. No. I can't wait. But you just got home. You haven't had dinner yet, have you? Yeah, I am hungry. Do we live together? That's why I came over early to cook for you. It's almost ready. Oh, we're at his house, okay. Dinner can wait. First, I want this. Oh, you... Oh! My back sank into the comfortable bed as he lowered me into it, in a light, gentle embrace. Okazaki's smiling face filled my vision. Well, hello, welcome to part 1. Oh, let me know if you're hurting, okay? I know you're still recovering. It's already been 3 months. I got the stitches out a while ago. But you still have a scar. His fingertips gently traced the fresh scars on my flank. Oh, sorry. Did that hurt? No, it just tickles. Sorry. Okazaki repeated himself, then stooped over me and kissed the scar. I felt the heat of his tongue lightly caressing the outlines of my wounds, as if he was an animal licking its mate's wounds. That just got a little unsexy there, but okay. Hey, listen to me. Can't hear you right now. Okazaki, no! Liar. I know you like this. I mean, I kinda do. Holy shit! I wasn't expecting this right off the bat. His lips touched my belly and flank, then moved to other parts of my body. This had also become part of our recent routine. We were too busy to meet during the day, so we only had time in the evenings or when our days off happened to match up. There was no helping that. But this was just too lascivious. Lascivious? Lascivious? That's what it was. Lascivious? Well, I don't know anyway. After I caught my breath and tidied up my clothes, I finished preparing the half-cooked meal and we finally sat down at the dining table. Was that a quickie or did we just make out? I don't know what happened there, but it's okay. I looked at Okazaki sitting next to me who had haphazardly put his discarded suit back on. Okay, so we just had some sex. All right, I just needed to make sure to know what was happening. Today, can we just take it easy after dinner? Yeah, we got it rough before. Of course. Or at least that's what I'd like to say. I still have to work later. We've got nighttime protection training, and tomorrow I have an early briefing about my next assignment. Most days I don't even have time for lunch. It really helps me out when you make dinner. I'm happy to help out with dinner anytime. I do it because I like it anyway. Please don't push yourself too hard. Shouldn't you at least take a nap? Nah, thanks to you I'm totally recharged. Being with you soothes me. I wasn't sure how to reply, so I just passed him a spoon and plate. I then plated a serving of mapo tofu, a savory meal enhanced with lightly fragrant sesame oil. Okazaki smacked his lips in anticipation. Sounds delicious, but... This is amazing. You're an awesome cook. Thanks. Are you okay with the spiciness? I tried adding a bit more heat this time. You can take it up a little hotter. Oh, that's good. I can feel the heat spreading through my body. Okay, I'll add a bit more pepper next time. Okazaki seemed to be genuinely enjoying the food. I smiled in relief as I watched him slurp down the Chinese egg soup. Is it egg drop soup? I fucking love egg drop soup. That shit's amazing. Sorry that I haven't been able to see you more often lately. It's alright, I understand. Your work is super busy. But since we don't have much time together, I'd like to act a bit more like lovers when we do have time to spend with each other. I'm pretty sure we just did that! Wait, you still haven't had enough? That's not what I meant! We could go on dates and stuff. I want to do the other things that normal couples do too. These boys are horny motherfuckers, but fuck, I'm not complaining. Oh, I see. A date, huh? I'll have to take an entire day off then. Where do you want to go? I've got a lot of places in mind, of course. Whether it was shopping, theme parks, or even just leisurely strolling around town, I was sure I'd enjoy it with Okazaki. But I knew how tired work had made him recently. So if we went on a date, I wanted to go somewhere he could get some rest and relaxation. Why don't we go see a movie or visit the planetarium? Why not both? Oh, are you sure? Wouldn't you prefer to rest up at home a bit on your days off? Do you think I'd turn out on a date with you? He really had such a beautiful smile. Okazaki set down his spoon and flashed a heartfelt smile at me. Actually, I suppose I should be asking you out. Sorry I had to make you ask first, but thanks. I really appreciate it. Not at all. I'm happy to do it, and I want to spend more time with you too. Okay, so the date's a go. But it's not like we can't do anything between now and then. After my next assignment, I'll have a little free time. We could do something else that lovers do. Like... Okazaki cocked his head and thought. The gesture gave me a bad feeling about what he was going to suggest, and I slightly stiffened. We just did that, and we do that all the time. Hey, why don't we play a game? Whoever loses has to do what the other person says. I don't trust you. What's with the look? They're all a little fucking sadistic. All of them. Even he's a little fucking sadistic underneath. They're all a little fucking psycho. They're all a little crazy, and they're all a little bit of a fucking kind of psycho asshole underneath. Just a little bit. It's a little bit asshole, a little bit psycho, underneath the crazy. Every person in this. Every fucking one of our boyfriends. Is there a normal fucking person here? Like, none of them. None of them. I'm not even sure Yanagi's normal. He might be the only one I can think of, because Enomoto's fucking crazy. He's not sadistic and mean, but he's crazy. Like, I'm just saying, but... Jesus. What's with the look? This is going to be a normal, wholesome game, right? Of course. I saw it on TV earlier. You take turns saying things that you like about your partner, and you lose if you can't answer in the time limit. Oh, that sounds interesting. It was hard to tell what Okazaki was thinking, so I did want to hear what he liked about me. There's no good place to pause, so we're going to... On that note... Let's start then. Is a 5-second timer okay? Sure, I won't lose. I cleaned up the dishes, then nodded at him to begin. I'll start. First, I like how seriously you take your work. I like how cute your emojis are. Huh? You're leading with that. It's true. Come on, your 5 seconds are almost up. I like that you're kind and considerate. I like that you're strong and reliable. I like that you're a great cook. I like that you're stubborn. I like that you're stubborn too. Hey, no fair, that's the same. As for me... I like how cute you look when you sleep. I like how cute you are when you pout. I like how you're hesitant to depend on others. I like that you tease me a bit. How much time had passed since we started playing? Felt like a long time, and we eventually ran out of things to say. He's reliable, which I already said. He spoils me. Nope, I said that too. One other quality that I liked about him was... You're fun to talk to, you have a gentle smile. Aww, you're kind of a troublemaker. I bet... Actually, no, we don't... I mean, it is you're a bit of a troublemaker, but... I like your troublesome personality. Do you really mean that? I'm not sure I understood it either, but it's definitely something I like about you. Most of the time you're warm and kind, but sometimes you suddenly get clingy. Other times you get all pouty and stubborn. You also worry too much. I do find myself thinking that you're hard to deal with, but that's something I like about you. That doesn't sound like a compliment at all. You're right, it isn't. What? After puffing out his cheeks like a child, Okazaki seemed to cheer up. Well, yeah, I'm happy to hear that. You're happy? After all, you like me enough to stay with me despite all that. Isn't that amazing? When you put it that way, yeah. I don't think there's anyone else like you in the world. Oh, I think I went over 5 seconds while we were talking. Can this be an exception? Okay, I've still got plenty more. So do I, but it's going to be pretty hard to follow that one. You got 5 seconds. 1. Okazaki closed his eyes and tilted his head and thought, slowly leaning towards me. 3, 4, 5. The time limit expired. Then... I like how cute you get when I kiss you. Again! There's ooming and umming. Okay. Before I had a chance to voice my surprise, his lips sealed up my next words. I found myself trembling, and he relented just enough to leave an intimate distance between us, whispering, "It's your turn." What was I supposed to say to that? Hmm? Our lips connected again, robbing me of my will to resist. Seeing my reaction, Okazaki grinned mischievously. That con artist. Okay, 5 seconds is up. You lose, so now I can do whatever I want to you, right? That was cheating! There was never any rule that we couldn't interfere with each other. Besides, you've just said so many things that make me happy. Can you blame me for losing my patience? That's not the point! Ignoring my protest, Okazaki wrapped me up in an embrace and whispered into my ear, "I'll take my reward when we go on a date next time. I look forward to it, okay?" That little bastard. Oh, perfect timing. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this up here, and we will continue on the 11th at 1:12 p.m. There, Yoshinari, Security Police Division, age 24. Okay, so we're getting to, well, I've just got to see that because it's going to be gone, and then we're going to have to, anyway. So, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up, and subscribe to see more.